Right, I'm joined the game by Anthony, the pretty boy Taylor. He's just landed the biggest fight of his life so far against Tommy Fury. How you doing, mates?
Oh man, I feel amazing. I feel great. I'm ready to go right now. I've been sparring with Jalen Love. Man, he's been pushing me. Jalen Love's been pushing me, and I can't get any better sparring than that.
So where you training right now, Anthony, mates?
Right now, I'm in Puerto Rico, with Jake Paul and Logan, and BJ Flores, the head coach. So we're out here in Puerto Rico.
I So tell us about the Tommy Fury fight. How you landed it and how you found out about it, mates.
Oh man, you know I've been manifesting this fight. If you look back on my Twitter, you'll see like in May that I was like, Tommy Fury, stop fighting them bums and come fight me. No one, no one ever even thought about it. They just undermined it, ignored it. No one just thought like, who's this guy? Whatever. So I'm in Puerto Rico, right? I was supposed to fight July 3rd and August 1st on Cage Warriors. So I ended up not fighting for neither card. For the July 3rd fight, that was my title fight. I ended up canceling because Jake Paul said, "Hey, can you stay here longer for the whole training camp?" I said, "Okay, great." So then I was having some disputes with Cage Warriors in the matchmaking that they had. Jake was like, "Look, stay here. I'll take care of you. Don't worry about the fight." I said, "Okay, cool." So I ended up canceling the Cage Warrior fight. I stayed with Jake. I've been here since June 15th, and I'm here ever since. So then, 3 weeks in the training camp, Jake was like, "Hey, man, I got some good news for you." I'm like, "Okay, cool, great." So he sits me down. The whole team surround us. He's like, "Hey, have you heard of Tommy Fury?" I'm like, "Absolutely. He's the guy who's been trying to fight you for so long." I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And Jake was like, "Okay, well, I want you to fight on my undercard and I want you to fight Tommy." I was like, "Holy shit, really?" He's like, "Yeah, man, you're a good dude, great personality, and I want to see you succeed, change your life." And I'm like, "Oh man," I almost cried because this is an opportunity to change my life. And now I'm fighting Tommy Fury.
Well, I tell you what, like that's one thing about Jake Paul, right? Like you can say what you want about him, but he tries to help fighters out, doesn't he? Like he seems like he really likes helping fighters out. Just interesting, because you're doing a lot of sparring with him. How much do you think Jake Paul's improved since like the last time you were sparring him, mate?
Oh man, Jake. All right. So let me. I'm not trying to say he's this person or any other fighter, but as far as change, let me give you a perfect example. You know how you see AJ McKee fight from the beginning of his career, right? And you notice how AJ evolves so much faster and he looks different every single fight. Like when he fought Derek Campos, he ran through him. It was kind of dirty, but he did it. When he fought Caldwell, it looked so AJ looked good. Then when he fought Pitbull, it was like, holy crap. Jake is kind of like that. He has that mentality. He's involving every training camp, every fight. He looks totally different than the last fight he had. It's a big gap because Jake's been fighting and training for about 3 years. Am I right or wrong?
No, you're right. You're right.
So an average guy who says, "Hey, I want to be a fighter," he trains boxing for 3 years. He's going to probably train 3 times a week, right? Or 3 times a week, about 1 hour a day. What Jake does, Jake trains 6 days a week, 3 times a day. And look, I'm his main sparring partner. I'm there every time he's in the gym. I'm training 3 times a day with him. He trains 3 times a day. He has his meals. He don't cut corners. He's working hard. And for a person who's there 6 days a week, 3 times a day, for 3 years, you got to understand that rapid growth is high. For a guy who's been training 3 years, he has experience of a guy who's been training 6 years because he doubled that worth ethic.
I tell you what's interesting as well, mate. Have you ever sparred his brother Logan Paul? And what did you think about his fight with Mayweather?
Oh, I sparred Logan. Logan, man, can crack. Woo! That boy can crack. And I was surprised. I'm like, who, Logan? Got a good right. That guy can box. And I'm telling people, man, these ain't YouTubers. Stop calling them. These are professional fighters. All these people talking about, oh, YouTubers, they're not fighters. Look, I'm tough as nails as it comes. Have I ever lied on social media? Have I ever lied in the MMA community? Have I ever lied about my fights and my opponents? I keep it real. Do I not? These guys.
You do, bro. Like, you keep it real. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I'm a fan of yours, mate, because you get in there and fight anybody.
Absolutely. These guys are boxers. And all these people who talk social media, Jake, if you feel like you could beat Jake, come on in and get beat up. A lot of these professional boxers, they come into camp, you know, they look at it like, Jake's a YouTuber, I'm going to beat him up. You know, these professional boxers, they come in, they do 4 rounds, and they're like, okay, I'm going to fill Jake out. Next thing you know, the first, second, third, Jake just outboxed you. And you're like, shit. And after the rounds, you're like, oh, you're a lot better than I thought you was. When I came into camp, when I first sparred Jake, I didn't look at him as a YouTuber. For one, you going in that ring, you're a fighter. I don't care.
I've been in a fight myself. If you get in that squared circle with somebody, it's a fight. It doesn't matter who they are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You are a fighter. If you go in there with a professional, you're a fighter now. I don't care if you're a plumber. I don't care if you just gave birth. You go in there, you're a fighter. See, that was the mentality when I sparred Jake in Miami first time. I didn't look at him as a fighter, me as a YouTuber. I came in there as a fighter. I came in there as a fight.
Well, you know, about Jake, right? Because he's taken a big step up here, and I know you've got a lot of MMA experience. What do you think about this fight with Woodley, and have you ever trained alongside Tyron Woodley before, mate?
Jake, I got Jake beating him by unanimous decision. I just think Tyron got too much pride to not get knocked out. He'll take a big risk to not get knocked out. But I definitely got Jake outpointing him and beating him by unanimous. I haven't personally trained with Tyron Woodley. Ever since I've been with Antonio for about almost 6 years, I've never met Tyron Woodley. You know, he don't come around. He's doing his thing. He seems like a very nice guy, you know, but as far as concerned, I'm here with Jake. You know, I'm here to train Jake. I'm here to help Jake get better. You know, just because me and Tyron are affiliated with certain people, it doesn't mean you're my homie or I'm loyal to you because we're affiliated with somebody with the same people. I'm here to do a job. I tell you this, I've got paid more being Jake's sparring partner than I did in my whole career in MMA. I got paid in 3 months. I got paid more in 3 months being in Puerto Rico than I did in my 6 years career in MMA.
And I've noticed, you know, like out in Puerto Rico, mate, I seen like a couple of weeks back, you were putting photos up with GSP. Like, that must be mint training with him, mate. Like, that must be like a dream come true in there. Like, what's he like compared to everyone else? Because everyone, like, I've seen in Chael Sonnen and that before, saying he's like as strong as an animal or something like that. You know what I mean, mate?
Man, I didn't really get to grapple pit GSP. I wanted to so bad. We was just chopping it up. I walk into the it's funny. I walk into the gym, right? We're all sitting down talking. He's like, "You look familiar." I'm like, "Me?" He's like, "Yeah, I see you in LA. You're with the McKees, right? Right?" I'm like, "Oh shit, it's an honor. You recognize me." You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, you GSP, you're one of the GOATs. Like the fact that you recognize who I am said a lot about what I accomplished. Like the fact that I'm able to put an impression on the GOAT himself, for him to be like, hey, you look familiar. I recognize you, LA at the body shop, McKee's and them. That means a lot, you know. And we was just talking, and I'm gonna set this straight for everybody. GSP is never fighting again. Never fighting again. And I'm gonna tell you that straight up. We had a talk. He's never fighting again. He has kids. He's going out on the high end stick. Who cares? He's not 23, 25 no more. GSP, it was funny because GSP was like, bro, you're super strong. Like, goddamn. I was like, yeah, I know. I was like, how much you weigh? He was like, he told me how much you weigh. I was like, oh, I'm about 189 right now. He's like, holy shit, I'm 182. I'm like, damn, George, you're 182? He's like, yeah. So if he really wanted to, he can cut down to 155.
And speaking about weights, how do you feel about fighting at 175, mates?
Sorry, it's my Wi-Fi connection.
Don't worry, bro. I was just gonna say, mate, how do you feel about fighting at 175, which is a little bit of a jump up to fight Tommy Fury, mate?
It's not a big deal because I walk around at 192 pounds. Me coming down.
I think you might even be a little bit stronger because sometimes when I've seen fighters who are cutting down a lot, you know, when they don't have to dehydrate as much and cut as much calories, they seem to be stronger at the new weight. Do you think you might even be a little bit stronger at 175, mate?
Oh, absolutely. He's getting the full force. I'm in total good shape. And he
just a minute, guys. It seems like Anthony's paused for a second. He'll probably come back once the Wi-Fi's back on. Well, I'm just going to ramble for a minute or two because I've enjoyed how this is going. And one thing, if Anthony comes out of the Matrix, that I'm going to ask him about is his thoughts about Silva versus Logan Paul, because that one's getting talked about. And oh, damn, we've lost him. Damn, we've lost him. But I still enjoyed that one. You know, and we had a little bit of stuff out there. Do you know what I mean? There we had some interesting stuff said there from Anthony, and I'll try and get him on in the build up to this Tommy Fury fight again, and we'll see what's happening with that. But yeah, very interesting stuff right there, and I've got a lot of respect for Anthony. I mean, he's been out there on the brutal MMA circuit. He's fought some proper hard cases. And, you know, he said it there himself. This man's had a career and he's being paid more with Logan Paul. Oh, he's back. We've got him back.
I had to go.
We've got it. My phone we've got him back. We've got you back.
Great.
Don't worry, mate. We've got you back, right? So tell us, mate. Well, I lost you for a second, but one thing I wanted to ask you, I can't remember where we were, is what do you think about a potential Logan Paul versus Anderson Silva fight, which is getting talked about?
That'll be a good fight. I think that's a good step up for Logan, most definitely. Now, it all depends. See, here's the good things. You can set these fights up, but you need good sparring partners who emulates these guys. And it's hard to find good sparring partners who emulate these guys. So I think Logan Paul versus Anderson Silva, but that's Jay Leon Love. So
Yeah, we've got Jalen Love in the house. Thanks for coming up, bro. How you doing? You all right?
That is
still in my
Yeah, man,
shot.
this is
Still in my shot.
unbelievable.
All right, Jake, get
It's
out
your
of here.
moment. It's your moment. Go ahead. It's your moment.
Unreal. Yeah, ask Jalen Love if he'll come on, bro, because I'm a big fan of his, mates.
Definitely.
Like,
He said hit him up. He'll get on with you.
I'll get him. Will you put us through to him for tomorrow, mate? That'd be awesome, mate. Aye.
Yeah, I'll
But
definitely set it up.
cool, bro. Cool.
Anderson Silva versus Jake Paul. Book it. Book it. Why not? You know, book it. I think it's a great fight. It shows where Logan's at. And on top of that, Logan doesn't have to cut weight as much. You know, I think it's a great idea. Logan's a very nice guy, man. Like, people don't understand. Jake is a very nice guy. Logan's a very nice guy. These guys are very humble and sweet people, man. Like, everybody just give them a hard time. Like, hey, these guys, they treat me like family. Yeah, I might have my differences in the past with them, or I might talk shit and all that, but getting to know them, these guys are one of the nicest people you ever meet in the combat sport. They fight for fighters' pay. It's equal rights. You know, they they try to help people out. They do charities events. They don't have to, but they do it because they want to give back because they were in those type of positions. You know, Logan and Jake are doing an outstanding job, and they're they're cementing themselves in the history books.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, like, obviously, I fought myself for a long time, and I've been around a lot of fighters for a long time who haven't been paid good, and like, I've really warmed to Jake Paul and stuff with the way he's going on about it all, and like trying to push for like fair pay and stuff like that. But one thing I want to ask you about is what's being brought up is in the build up to some fights, people say, there's certain things are off limits, girlfriends and families, and Molly May's been brought up a bit, you know what I mean? Tommy Fury's girl, what you got to say about all that, bro?
Joking. Tommy I would never slide in his girlfriend DMs. It's just all fun and games. Tommy is all fun and games. It's nothing personal. I'm just trying throwing jabs just to get all your fans. Ooh, it's nothing personal with Molly May. Tommy, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Tommy's a good guy. I'm gonna be honest. He's too good to talk crap, but somebody got to build the fight. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Tommy, he kind of undermines me. He's kind of ignoring the fact that, hey, I'm your opponent. Hey, hi, hello. He's worried about Jake Paul, but he's not really worried about his fight. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna come in here and knock him out in 10 seconds. You're not gonna just knock me out, bro. It doesn't work like that. You're not knocking me out.
So, what's your prediction for the fight, mate, with Tommy Fury, and how do you think it's going to go down?
I say second round TKO or me by unanimous. Um, you know, I just feel good where I'm at overall. And as far as talking about his girlfriend and stuff, bro, it's just the beginning. Everything I'm doing is just for gigs and laughs. It's not serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna try to like hop in your girlfriend's DMs. I might do funny videos of me probably being at Love Island and adding and cutting scenes with Molly May and making you look dumb. But that's it. But I'm not here to disrespect your mom. I'm not here to disrespect your dad, your brother. I'm past that. I've done my immature ways. I've learned my lessons ever since the James Gallagher thing, But as far as that, I'm just doing it for fun. It's all fun and games to build up the fight. It gets people involved.
What did you think about the whole Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder thing? Just before we wrap up, mates.
Man, who knows really what happens? I think it's going to be a good fight. Personally, I I have my ups. I have my yes and nos. I want Deontay Wilder to win, absolutely, but I also want Tyson Fury to win. I want Tyson Fury to win, and then I want him to beat Anthony Joshua. Then I want him to go to the UFC and fight in the octagon. I really want to see Tyson Fury fight in the octagon. The man could do it, and I want to see it. I want to see this man go into the octagon because he talked about it. If you go into the octagon and you're winning in there, bro, you're considered the baddest man on the planet. I mean, yeah, you are in boxing, but when you're coming into MMA, that's like street fighting. Everything goes.
Well, definitely, mate. But honestly, mate, I really want to see you doing upsets, yeah, because it's like a Rocky story, and like everyone's writing you off, mate. Nobody's like, because he's got the height and he's got the boxing background and stuff. But you know what it is, mate. I think you're a real character, and I think that you've got like a lot of star power, Anthony. And I think that just you've finally got this opportunity, mate, to really show people what you're about. And like, absolutely. I think that you're going to shock a few people, mate. Definitely.
I appreciate it. A lot of people. I've had like 20 people help me today. Small, big, little. Hey, can you do my podcast with me? Can you do an interview? It's my first time ever interviewing fighters and stuff. I'm like, sure, bro, sure. Because without you guys, I wouldn't be where I'm at. I give everybody love, even if it's even if this is for a school event or it's I give people interviews. I'm not gonna be like these guys. Well, I pay to do interviews. I'm gonna be doing interviews with the small people, even when I'm big and famous, like Conor and Floyd. I got a guy with 200 followers to ask me, hey, can I do an interview with you? I would love to, pick your brain. Sure, let's go for it. When you free? And they get shocked. They're like, oh my gosh, you're this big star now, and you're okay with me interviewing? You don't need it? No, it's good. I had people hit me up saying, hey, can you say happy anniversary to me and my wife? You don't have to, I can pay you. I'm like, bro, I'll do it for free. Don't worry about it, man. I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me, even if you don't like me or not. Thank you guys. I'm a give because I feel what I get, I give.
Well, do you know what it is, mate? It's like, as they say, like real attracts real. And I think that's, how you're talking about manifesting before. I think like Jake's a bit real, to be honest with you. Now I've kind of like, and I'm pleased that you're all kind of like all brought together and, working and all that. So just the last thing I ask you, mate, because it's late here in England, is who's doing your corner for this fight, mate? And who's training you?
I got Antonio McKee. You already know. Yes, she's negative. Thank God. Oh, thank God. I got Antonio McKee. I got Jalen Love, and I got Jacob, who's also cornering Jake.
Cool, bro. Well, thanks for that, Anthony, mate. And if you don't mind, maybe we'll check in once or twice before you fight and do a couple more. But best of luck, mate. I really appreciate that night, Anthony. And I'll be tuning in on is it August the 25th,
August 29th.
August 29th, I'll be checking in, and even though I'm a big Tommy Fury fan, I'll be rooting for you that night, mate.
I appreciate it, man. If I do come to England, I'll hit you up personally. Let's go grab a drink, man. Let's go hang out for a day. We can sightsee together. I want to hang out with my fans, my friends, people who take the time. I don't care if I get as big as Floyd Mayweather. Any little person asks me to do interviews, want to hang out, grab a drink, meet me, sign autographs, I'll do it for 3 hours straight and take care of everybody. I've been like this since James Gallagher fight. Always open to talking to people. I've been humble. I might talk crap to have fun, but it builds the fight. It builds up the story. So I appreciate you the most because you are giving me a platform to express myself and allows people to understand who I am as a fighter and as Anthony Paul Taylor.
Cool, bro. Well, we'll wrap it up at that. And I think what it is, mate. You're going to get a lot of fans for this one, and people are going to finally see what you're all about. Right? Peace out, Anthony. Good night, mate. What you doing? Keep training hard.
Thank you.